Hello, what the heck is up? I'm literally sitting in 1, 2, 3 different blankets right now. Dom's about to come down the stairs and talk. Hey, Dom. Hey, Dom.
Yeah.
I'm on live.
What?
I'm on live.
Oh.
Want to say hi to the people?
What's up, party people?
What's up, party people? Okay. I wanted to hop on here today. Hello, you guys. What the heck is up?
Love you.
Love you too. Okay. Dom is now in his streaming zone. He's actually editing the last 2 minutes of the podcast tomorrow. So if you guys haven't seen, I launched a virtual assistant podcast and we upload every Thursday. There's 5 episodes up now. There's going to be another one up tomorrow because it's fucking Thursday. So he's just wrapping that up. But I wanted to talk to you today all about how to not burn the fuck out. Okay, and this is something that I adopted in undergrad, and it's stuff that I've just adopted over the time as a virtual assistant, but you can definitely implement it into other careers as well. So if you're not a VA on here, or if you're in another industry, dude, you can still use this shit, okay? So here is the deal, just a little bit of a background. I was the queen of burnout. Does anyone else feel that? Like, you go, go, go? Yeah, exactly. You go, go, go. And you're like, yeah, I got my shit together. I can sleep when I'm dead. All of this stuff. And then you just, like, run into a brick wall. And you're like, dude, why can I not get out of this headspace? Like, why can't I get out of it? And it's not something that hits you all at once. It's not something that, like, you know, you're like, wow, this happened, you know, what's up? It's not something that hits you all at once, burnout. Burnout is something that hits you in little tells, in little increments, and then it fucking hits you like a ton of bricks. But at the beginning, you experience burnout without even knowing it. You just feel a little bit off. Your brain feels a little bit foggy. Fav saying, sleep is for the sane and the dead. Yeah, no, literally. Okay, let's give you a little bit of background on my experience with burnout, and then we'll dive into my 4 tips. So I actually studied burnout in undergrad. It was part of my type A behavior pattern research. I was awarded for my undergraduate research. So I know a thing or two, you know? Like, I wouldn't consider myself, like, an expert in burnout, but I've read, like, 500 articles on it. So I know a lot, and everything is so consistent, you guys. Burnout is literally one of the most consistent things ever, and one of the most straightforward psychological situations that you'll ever experience. And I also experienced burnout a ton as a college kid. Did you ever have a time in your life, dude, where you're just juggling a lot, or you're balancing a lot, or you're trying to just hustle, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I could fall apart right now? That's how I felt. I was interior design, was my major before I switched to human relations for 2.5 years, and the only reason I switched from interior design, and the only reason I ever actually pulled the trigger to leave and switch into a major that I actually loved, is because I pulled 3 all-nighters in a row to finish a project, and backed my car into another car, and I was so burnt out. I was so exhausted. I was running from place to place to place, doing task, and I literally have backup sensors, backup cameras, backed into another fucking car. And that was the moment I just sat in my car and I cried, and I was like, something's gotta change. Like, something's gotta change because I cannot keep doing this. I had $75 in my account, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay this to the insurance company. Dude, I was so burnt out, and I was working hard in school, in my career. I was in network marketing at the time, but nothing was able to thrive because everything was just being so suffocated by the stress of the work and by the constant going. I didn't give myself room to breathe. I didn't give my brain room to breathe, dude. So if you're in that right now, where you're hustling, totally get it, totally respect your hustle, totally am here for it, but adopt these 4 things, or at least one of these 4 things, because dude, I don't want you in that position of feeling so burnt out that you back into another fucking car in a Walgreens parking lot, okay? It's not fun, I promise, it's not fun. Yeah, literally 3+ jobs all at once while being on social. No, literally 10 years ago. Yep, design field is nuts. Yeah, design field is freaking insane, let me tell you. I love interior design, but I'm more of an interior decor type of person, you know, and you don't need a degree for that shit. So, yeah, no, literally. Okay, so let's get to the juicy nuggets. Let's get to the stuff that you actually came here for tonight. My 4 tips to not burning the fuck out, okay? And here's the thing. When it comes to burnout, you actually experience 3 different things before you experience burnout. And you only experience one thing after you experience burnout. So when it comes down to it, all my type A people, there's actually a cycle to the type A behavior pattern. This is what I found in my research. And what happens is first you experience, okay, I'm stressed. You experience stress first, right? Because stress is like anything. Everyone experiences stress. We all experience stress. Literally tell me something that stressed you out today below. Because, dude, for me, what stressed me out was that I was in such a funk and that I could not get out of my own head. And it stresses you out, okay? So the first thing you experience in the type A behavior pattern cycle is stress. So you experience stress on a daily basis. We all do it. But the thing is if you don't cope with stress, then what happens is that you then experience anxiety. And anxiety is literally, by definition, fear of the ambiguous future. And I know that we can all experience it a ton, especially as entrepreneurs, especially as freelancers, especially people that are working in the virtual world, especially during times like COVID where so much shit is uncertain, dude. I totally understand if you're feeling this way. And you go from stress to anxiety, and the reason why you go from stress to anxiety is because you're stressed out, and everything currently that you're thinking of is present, and you can't push past it and you can't plan past it. It's like this obstacle that's in the way. So then you experience this anxiety, which is fear of the ambiguous future, because you don't have the brain space to generally get a feel and map out your future. So you're constantly anxious because you can't even keep up with what's in front of you, the stress, okay? This is where I'm at. I still have a 9-to-5 still and 4 clients. I want to give up the 9-to-5, but I'm not 100%. They secured the clients for long term. Yeah, no, literally, dude, at some point, you just got to let that shit go. And I know that it's way more easier said than done. Okay, I'm well aware. I'm going through a transition period too, and I know that it's a way more easier to say, oh, well, I have 4 clients and I can always find 4 more. Like, dude, you have bills to pay, you have to do this shit, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, whatever you want to drop, you have to drop. Because your mind's already there, it's already dropped it. It's already communicated that you want to drop it. So showing up at it every single day, you don't even realize it, but naturally, you're going to be less productive. Naturally, you're going to have less interest. Naturally, your success in that area of your life will lower because you're not even mentally in it anymore, you know? So I totally get that. My stress today was not having all of my shit I needed to make dinner. Honestly, this is something my dad says. He goes, you know what, Cac? If that's the worst thing that's happened all day, you've got it made. You've got it made, okay? And that's how Kevin Merlot speaks, okay? That's the worst thing that happens all day, we got it made. So adopt that. that's a great mindset to have. I always say that. I have such a big problem with dealing with my stress. Yeah, no, and it happens. And I think that the reason why we have difficulty dealing with our stress is because we put so much pressure on ourselves to succeed, number one, but we put too many things on our plate to succeed in. So we're not able to focus on one thing and really plow that down and do it really, really well. And what happens is that stress leads to anxiety, and that anxiety actually leads to overload, because what happens is us type A behavior pattern peeps, okay? Tell me below if you're type A, but the reason why you experience overload after anxiety and stress is because you have no security in the future. You have that anxiety, which is the fear of the ambiguous future. So you're fearing the future, and you're like, well, I've got to overload myself because I got to have some sense of security, and I've got to put more on my plate because more, let's use streams of income, for example. More streams of income equals more security because I have money coming in multiple ways. I have multiple projects going on. I have this full-time job, but then I'm working this, and then I'm working that, and then I'm working the other thing, and that means more security. But the thing is it's just like when you mentally check out of something, and when you mentally just don't want to be there, what happens is you actually, when you're overloaded, start dropping fucking plates. And you start forgetting silly, stupid things. And you begin being like, dude, what the fuck? I should have remembered that. Or I should have done that. Or why didn't I do that? Or, oh my gosh, I never do this. Why am I doing this today? And then you experience the overload. Because you're so overloaded, because you overloaded yourself, because of your fear of the ambiguous future, because you're fucking stressed. Yeah.
Do we need this?
No, why? Okay. Dom just grabbed the picture frame, goes, do we need this? I said no, he walks away. But yeah, so then you experience overload, okay? And after overload, there's burnout. Okay, so you go from stress to anxiety to overload to burnout. That's the chain reaction of type A. But you know the scary thing? You have this stress, okay? You have the experience of stress to warn you first, okay? When you're experiencing stress, you need to step back and you need to figure out why you're experiencing stress and how you can decrease stress in the future. Because then, if you don't do that, you go into anxiety and you start fearing the future and you start fearing the shit that you don't know in the future. And then you're stressed already about shit in the present, but then you're also stressed and you're afraid of what's going to happen in the future because your brain is so enveloped in the shit in the present that you can't plan ahead and get ahead in the future. So you start freaking out about the future and getting anxiety. So then you start taking on more because that's the only way that you have security, and that's the only way we've communicated that we can secure stuff and have security is bringing more on, having more options, having more streams of income, having more ability, having more clients. But then what happens when you take all of this stuff on for more security is you experience burnout. And burnout fucking hits you like a ton of bricks. And here's the thing, you had the warning sign of stress. Then you started worrying about the future, and that's anxiety. When you're worried about the future, whether it be 5 minutes in the future or a year in the future, dude, that's anxiety. So you should realize that that's a trigger of anxiety, and you should figure out, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's currently going on that makes me fear the future? What am I currently fearing that I can actually just be okay with because it's the natural human part of life to have a natural chain reaction that I might not have control over? Or I might have control over, whatever you believe. But then after that anxiety and after that trigger, then when you start feeling overwhelmed and overloaded, and when your schedule and your to-do list for the day is longer than your actual day, and when you consistently don't get everything done in a day, that's when you know you're overloaded. because we know that the to-do list can be 20 fucking pages long. That's when you know you're experiencing overload. And you need to go, okay, I need to drop some things or else everything's gonna fucking drop. Like, I need to drop a few plates. I need to delegate some stuff out. I need to undercommit to this or else everything's just gonna give. Then, if you keep pushing and you keep going, no, it's okay, I got it. No, it's okay, I'm gonna make it work. No, I can sleep when I'm dead. You know what comes after burnout? Burnout's the 4th out of 5. Depression. Not to be dark, but the only thing after burnout is depression. So if you're feeling burnt out right now, dude, there were warning signs coming before you experienced the burnout. And you need to do some shit to decrease your load, your workload, and your life load. You need to decrease your stress on a daily basis. Figure out what triggers stress. You need to sit down and paint the picture of your future, but also be okay if things don't go exactly as planned, because they never do. And you need to start doing that work, because after burnout, if you keep pushing when you're burnt out, you experience depression. It's the chain reaction of type A behavior pattern. You experience depression because depression is the lack of feeling anything. Because you felt the stress, you felt the anxiety, you felt the overload, you felt the burnout. And by burnout, your gas tank is so empty, it's just running on fumes. And then after that, it has nothing left in it. No emotion, no commitment, nothing. So you need to figure your shit out before you get to burnout, because there's only one thing after burnout. And dude, depression sucks and nobody wants to be there, okay? And this is something that we need to talk about more. Not to be like that mental health advocate, but dude, entrepreneurs go through so many mental trials and tribulations on a daily basis, and all we see on the front end, so much, we've gotten so much better at it, but a lot of times all you see on the front end is, oh, I'm building this right now, oh, I'm working on this project, oh, I'm working for this person, oh, it's so much fun. You don't always see the behind the scenes, and we need to do better at that. And we need to do better at knowing, hey, listen guys, I am not having a good week right now. There's a mood and there's something in my brain. I can just not shake it. I feel like there's a fog over me. So I'm taking the fucking day off. I'm taking a half day. And I'm getting out and I'm getting my fucking mind right so that I can show up for you more on socials. So that I can show up bigger in my business. Okay, because after burnout, all that's after burnout is depression. So in order to not burn out, I want you to do these 4 things. And these 4 things will not only help with your burnout and you not experience that, but it will also help you not experience the stress. It'll help you deal with the stress. It'll help lower your anxiety. And it will help you lower your overload because you won't be taking as much on. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Number 1, I want you to delegate days. Okay, so if you're a jack of all trades VA, or if you're just in a field that you do a lot of different stuff and you float between multiple roles from the operational to the community management to the creative positions, and you go back and forth and you wear all these hats, what I want you to do is I want you to delegate days. So Monday's your operational day. Monday you catch up on all of your business work, everything that needs to be done, emails from the weekend, customer service stuff. Tuesdays are your creative days, dude. You're creating away. Wednesdays, you're doing this. Thursdays, you're doing this. Fridays, you're back to creating, and you're creating on Fridays, and then you get off a little bit early, and you give yourself until 3 p.m., and then you're done for the weekend, okay? Whatever it is, I want you to delegate days, because, dude, as virtual assistants, we work fucking hard. And we wear a ton of hats. But something I've even personally realized is I've been creating and in creation mode every day for the past 3 weeks. And I cannot shake this mood and this brain fog. And I was talking to Dom today, and I was like, dude, when you create all day, do you just feel so drained during and after it? Like, my brain is just, and he was like, yeah, no fucking shit, dude. You're taking more brain power. It takes more calories. Because when you're doing operational work, it's by the book. When you're creating something new from scratch, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of brain power. So, dude, delegate certain days to certain tasks. I know that we can't all do this all the time, and I know that shit comes up, okay? And that some days you'll need to do operational work on your creative days. Some days, every day, you'll need to do community management work. But work to delegate those days, because then once you delegate those days, you know where your energy is at for each, and you know the tasks required for each. So you don't experience the stress of not knowing what you're doing that day. You don't experience the anxiety of, okay, but what does the rest of this week look like? So you don't experience the overload because you know what to anticipate. So you won't experience the burnout as much. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I want you to do something big. I want you to take 1 weekend day off. And here's the thing, dude, I fucking know. I know that we work every fucking day of the week and that we're around the clock. And when we're not working on somebody else's business and somebody else's brand and growing that shit, we're working on our own. And we have to do it. And this is what's required. And you know what? The hustle, we just got to do it. But dude, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to burn the fuck out. And you're not going to be able to do anything. And it's going to fucking suck ass and swallow. Just telling it to you straight. So here is the thing. Your body needs days off from the gym. We all know this. Whether you are a fitness junkie or not, you know that life requires balance and your body needs rest, and that you don't work out every single day of the week, that you take at least 1 to 2 days off of rest days. So your brain obviously needs the same fucking thing, dude. Your brain is the most important organ in your body. It's literally what keeps you alive. Hello? Other than your heart, but like still, it's what makes you you. So if your brain isn't healthy, and if your brain's not getting that rest, you need it. So take at least 1 weekend day off, okay? I know that we like to think it's so awesome working the weekends and doing all of this stuff, and we're hustlers, but fuck that shit. You need to be good, and you need to be productive. When you're productive, you don't have to hustle, okay? And number 3, dude, there's one more after this. I don't know why I said and. There's 2 more. Number 3, you need to have an end of day, okay? Here's the deal. I don't know if you're the same way. Comment below if you are. But when I first went into virtual assisting, and when I first went into like the real world of working and like working with other people, I watched too much Devil Wears Prada growing up. It was literally the only movie that I bought on my iPod Touch. And I would watch it on road trips, and I would watch it driving up to Scranton, Pennsylvania to visit my brother and my sister at college. And I would listen to it going down to the boat on the weekends, down to Baltimore. And I would listen to it and watch it going down to the beach once a year in North Carolina. And I would listen to it and I would watch it at my dad's house because my dad loved Arnold Schwarzenegger and I didn't. Okay, so I would watch The Devil Wears Prada, and I literally thought that that's what hustling and working really hard and working for somebody that's very established and big was in real life. I literally thought that that's what you had to do to make it. I thought that you had to work 24/7 for Meryl Streep. I thought you had to do that. But you don't. Here's the thing. when you work 24/7 and when you're available 24/7, people don't respect you as much. Meryl Streep respected Anne Hathaway at the end of the movie when she walked away from the gig. She respected her for living her own life. So at the end of the day, dude, you need to have a cutoff time at the end of the day for work. And here's the thing. Even recently, I used to be the person that would work until 11 p.m. on my own stuff or catch up on clients until 11 p.m. But I was literally going to sleep, waking up, rolling out of bed, going to work, falling asleep with work in my lap, waking up, rolling out of bed, doing work again. And that's not healthy, and that's no way to live, dude. I remember there were so many times in even the past year, towards the beginning of my virtual assistant career, I didn't know that I was allowed to not check Voxer at night. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I could set that boundary. That's why I teach you so much about boundaries in the VA Vault, because it's so, so important. But I was like, oh, she sent me a message, so I need to respond. When really it's like, no. Yeah, she's friendly. Yeah, you guys are close. But that's work. And you're not working right now. And you're not expected to work right now. This can wait until the morning. So have an end of day. For me, I have an alarm that goes off on my phone. It says rest with the 3 little sparkly star emojis and then a white heart. And it goes off at 6:30 every single night. And after that, dude, sometimes I'll have my post go up late for the day on my account, but I don't touch anything. I don't touch my computer. I don't touch my clients' work. I don't touch anything that has to do with work other than lives, because Dom's streaming and it's fun. I get to just talk to you. And sometimes if I haven't posted yet, I'll post. But other than that, dude, you need an end of day. And you need a consistent end of day, because then that gets your brain in a routine. And what that allows is it allows for consistent results. And it allows for consistent productivity. And it allows you to squeeze the juice out of your day when you're actually on. And when you're off, you're off. And you're allowed to recover. Okay? So the last thing, number 4, what I want you to do so you don't burn the fuck out, is I want you to set a turnaround time for your work and for your projects, okay? Again, as virtual assistants, I get it. It's difficult. We're somebody's right-hand go-to. Sometimes they'll come to you and be like, I need this by the end of the day. And you're like, okay, so you kind of just fucked up my workflow, but it's fine because I'll get it done, okay? Have you experienced that where you're like, okay, I had my whole day mapped out, but this just kind of went to shit? Here's the thing. This is another boundary that you need to put up and another expectation you need to put up. And especially with creative deliverables and especially with kind of the operational end of things. Community management, not so much, because community management's a consistent thing and it's consistently the same shit every day. But with creative work and some operational work, you need to set an expected turnaround time. So for my clients, dude, if they send me something, they need to send it to me 24 hours in advance. Because, okay, you want this post? Cool, I'll have it for you to post tomorrow. Don't bank on me racing the clock and fucking up my own schedule to get your shit done in the day because you had this brilliant creative idea all of a sudden. Like, no, we need to develop a system because systems scale. Okay? Systems are what scale, not whims. Systems scale. And if you're wanting to scale your business, we need a system in place. And one of the systems in place is that we have a 24-hour or 48-hour turnaround time. Dom, with his podcasts, he has a 1-week turnaround time with all of his clients. Literally, the second, I don't care if your podcast goes out on Monday. Guess what? If you don't get it to me the Monday before, It'll be out Tuesday. It'll be out Wednesday. It'll be out Thursday. And what this does is not only does it allow you to not race against the clock and burn out and experience stress, anxiety, overload, and burnout, but what it also allows you to do, setting a specific turnaround time and setting that standard turnaround time, is it allows your clients the ability to see that, okay, this isn't just like a hourly thing. This isn't just a quick thing. This is something that takes time. They're putting time and energy into this deliverable. They're putting time and energy into this result, and it's going to take time and energy. And you know what? I would rather have it perfect the first time and get it a day, 24 hours later than I anticipated, rather than it be kind of half-assed. Because that's what happens when we're put in the reactive and distraction mode. Reactive and distraction mode happens when we actually are constantly on our phones, constantly answering people's needs, constantly, oh yeah, I'll get that done by the end of the day. Oh yeah, I'll get that done by the end of the day. No. You tell me what our objectives and our goals are for the week, and I'll map out when they happen. And then I'll keep you in the loop on that, and we'll agree on that, and we'll collaborate on that. But dude, and if something comes up along the week, okay, well guess what? We budgeted extra time so that we can take care of that. But don't ask me to create a whole sales page in 2 business days, dude. Not gonna work, Cheryl. Not gonna fucking work. Okay? So, those are the 4 things that I would do to decrease burnout in your life. And just know, dude, that before burnout happens, stress happens first. So once you're experiencing stress, have coping mechanisms in place to decrease that stress, and future mechanisms and future systems so that you don't experience stress when you typically would. Number 2, anxiety happens, which is fear over the ambiguous future. So plan out your fucking shit so you don't experience as much anxiety about the near future. Then number 3, overload. Stop taking on 27 clients and trying to balance them all. Trying to keep Slack channels for them all. Trying to talk to them all. Trying to get everything done for them all. Okay? Because then, if you let those 3 things build up, that's when you experience burnout. And we don't fucking want burnout, because the one thing that comes after burnout is depression. So burnout is literally the last thing before the bad shit really fucking happens, okay? And I want you to be healthy, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to have an amazing fucking career and be super productive and have an amazing life. So don't fucking burn yourself out. Don't do it. Okay, I love you guys. I'm so glad that you guys love this live. I'm reading the comments right now. Dude, stop working until midnight. I get that sometimes you have to do what you gotta do until you can do what you want to do. But make sure that at least if you are doing that, you only do it like 2 days or 3 days a week. Because the second you start building it up is the second it starts backing up. And that's when, you know, shit hits the fucking fan, okay? So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this live, and I will see you guys in the next one.